Here we are. It's episode 3. 3. No, it's 2. 3.
What?
How do you do 3?
3.
You do it this way?
Girl Scouts.
What?
Girl Guides. Brownies is 2.
We just lost that light.
What, you want me to start talking without you?
Yes.
Fine. Okay. So the past few days we've been working on our more longer term plans for the year. We've been mentioning that we had some travel plans originally for the summer, and now that's clearly not going to happen. So we've been trying to figure out how we want to spend the next few months as productively as possible so that we still feel like we're in control. Because part of, I think, what a lot of people are struggling with right now is their regular routines have been taken away from them and they feel like they're losing control of their surroundings and that sort of thing. By opting to make decisions that are feasible given the circumstances that we're in and the likelihood of where they will be several weeks or months from now, we've made some longer term plans. If one of us loses our job or if something happens, that we still have things to keep ourselves occupied with. Yeah.
We had a light die in this dirt. No, I'm still not doing it right.
Just point
In that
where-
direction. So I had to make some small changes very quickly. As Brittany was saying, our plans got completely shot this summer, which is normal. I mean, things change at the drop of a hat, and this just goes to show that everything can change at any point. And if you're ready to accept the change, your adjustment period is going to be a lot lower than people that are denying it, that it's just the flu and all that stuff. So I mean, today is just going to be a little bit more fun instead of driving the whole serious thing down everyone's throat. I think everyone gets it by now. This is serious. This is going to be very different for
everyone.
the rest of your life, or minimum 5 to 10 years, like minimum. And the reason I say that is, yes, the virus itself, might take a year or two to get into a vaccine and like herd immunity kind of thing. However, the economic impacts and just the logistics around everything going on in the world is what I think is going to be the bigger issue. So we started a garden. We had a garden last year. I let it die because she went to China.
Yeah, well, I didn't really bother doing anything with it. And then the year before that was our first summer here.
Yeah.
With the house. So we weren't too sure, where the best spots were in terms of sunlight and soil quality and that sort of thing. So just kind of dabbled a little bit the first summer.
So you're home.
I'm home.
All summer.
I'm home. So yeah, even without the pandemic, I'd be home in the summer anyway.
Being that we're here and my schedule is going to be a little more regular,
Yes.
we're going to actually have a lot of time to enjoy each other's company and camping and all those fun things that you don't really need to do. So I wanted to kind of talk about the first point of this is going to change everyone's life forever. And the quicker that you adjust to that, the quicker that you're going to be able to plan and make the best out of the situation. Even if you're in quarantine, if you're in isolation, if you're getting sick and things are getting worse, you're able to kind of have that mental fortitude to be in charge of your own situation.
Yeah, it's like, it's okay, I got this. I don't need someone to come rescue me. I don't need government services to fix the problems for me because I planned ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the big thing that I want everybody to understand, that you're not always going to be in control, but you are in control of your own reaction to how you're behaving. So as the world is running out of toilet paper, you can either panic and line up in Walmart along with everyone else, or you can find creative solutions or make a plan, and really staying calm is the biggest change that most people here, I should say, haven't been through, like,
Yeah, so
our generation anyways.
we were talking about like who's gonna come out, not on top necessarily, but like who's gonna come out less,
Who's going to thrive?
who's gonna thrive, who's gonna be like more unscathed than the majority, and it's immigrants. People who've lived through civil wars or had to be refugees, or, you know, a government collapses, the country no longer exists, or
Farmers. People
farmers,
that have grew up on farms.
Yeah, people who've been self-sufficient because they couldn't rely on their governments. And now they're like, oh, you guys are panicking because there's no toilet paper. That's the first time that we've, you know, gone to the store and something wasn't there. Came from. But it was someone who had recently moved to Canada, and they went into like a large supermarket for the first time, and they were with some people helping them to get settled in Canada. And this woman walked in the store and saw fully stocked shelves and tons of fresh produce, and she wanted to fill her cart immediately and grab everything in sight that she liked, because she was worried that this was like a rare occurrence, and like, oh, we gotta grab it while it's still here. And her friends were like, no, relax, it's always like this, you can always get everything here. And so this is until you can't.
The corona. That brings us to kind of point number 2 would be gardening, and having that self-sufficient mindset of, you know, things might not be in season all the time, and if you have avocados at the store, you might not have avocados right now, or just an example. Actually, did you know about the avocado cartels?
Yeah.
If you want to look at something really, really messed up and terrible, the avocado industry has basically been taken over by the Mexican cartels, and there's some terrible things going on in Mexico and in a lot of...
Used to just be the bananas, right? Now it's avocados too.
Yeah. Total side fact. So what can you garden, Brittany? What should people grow?
Well, things that you'd actually eat. So record a lot of the gardening adventures that we'll be having this year. And so you can kind of learn along with me, because I'm not an expert at all. And this is a different climate from, well, kind of different zone from where I grew up. So the things that might have grown really well back in Southern Ontario can't really grow as well here. So thinking about what fits in our diet, what we like, and just kind of...
If you don't like radishes, don't grow radishes.
Yeah.
Also, I love radishes.
I was thinking of kind of like extending this to some of my friends in town that have apartments, of just, hey, you want like a little corner of the yard? Like, bring a pile of dirt, go for it. Like, grow a tomato plant that can climb up the fence, that sort of thing. Like, I've been reading a lot about using 5-gallon buckets, and you can get enough roots going in a 5-gallon bucket.
There's a lot of creative solutions to gardening that people
don't think of.
Exactly, because you can go to the grocery store, you can buy it yourself. Why would I need to know where like peas come from, or certain vegetables, if you can just go and buy them? Yeah. So this will just give people a chance to learn something new, to learn something beneficial, and to really maximize it's called an ROI, the return on your investment. So if you're investing your time and energy into binging Netflix and finishing all the shows and catching up on that, that's cool. Totally up to you. However, if you want to have something at the end of the day, or this quarantine, or whatever it might be, you want to look at activities that are going to be beneficial to you as like a personal development and growth.
And give you the finished product. Yeah.
Just enjoy your work.
I was planning on doing more physical activity anyway, so this is fairly demanding when you do a lot of gardening. It's hard work.
I told her I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
No, I'll build whatever contraption, garden bed, whatever you need, I'll build it, but I'm not taking care of the daily weeding and gardening and stuff. I mean, unless you're completely stuck.
Yeah.
But that's not something that I want to spend my time with.
No, and
I'll just record you doing all the hard work.
I can manage it. So it's going to be my physical activity for the summer. It's going to help us save money because we'll be growing our own vegetables. It gets me outside more than I normally would. Usually in the summers, I'm indoors during the majority of the daylight hours anyway, because I'm teaching and working. So this would have been my first summer not doing that anyway. So perfect timing. Also better for our diet. and just for personal development, right? Like I want to be a better cook. I want to cook from scratch more often, and this is sort of forcing us to work on our personal skills a little bit more. The specific things that we're growing, in case you're curious, a few weeks back, Serge ordered a whole bunch of seeds from Amazon.
It's $10.
Yeah.
$11.
So there's 10 different varieties of greens. I'm not 100% sure on what they all are, to be honest, because it's all in Chinese, so can't really read it. I tried Google translating it, but I couldn't really get enough information, so I might reach out to some friends to help me translate it. But so there's the greens, and by greens I mean spinach, lettuce,
Bok choy.
Bok choy, yeah, and some other greens, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm growing lots of basil. I'm growing carrots, 3 different types of tomatoes, zucchini, butternut squash,
Cucumber.
Yeah, I think I said that
Did
already.
you?
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Beets, radishes.
These giant radishes that are like the size of your fist, apparently.
Yeah, they're supposed to grow up to the size of baseballs.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Oh, beets.
Beets?
Yeah, because I make pickled beets, and now
we'll have our own beets.
Yeah. So we've been looking at creative ways to grow them using pallets or buckets, having a trellis, having things grow vertically to maximize our space. So this summer you'll see video footage of the projects.
Let's take a 2-second pause.
Yeah.
And talk about numbers.
Ugh.
The shitty part is numbers.
No. No.
Something just... Okay, I did not expect this. Looking at the stats, it is not good. Right now we're sitting at 528,491 cases worldwide, 23,953 deaths, 123,364 recovered, and I'm gonna post these here as we talk about them. But if you look at the graphs, the US has just surpassed China as the amount of total cases.
Officially.
Reported numbers. They added 14,600 some cases today, which is terrible because there's a big difference between cases that are found and active cases in the community. So because they haven't been testing super well at all and have really dropped the ball from my point of view, this we're just starting to find out. And I mean, 15,000 cases in one day. Tomorrow it's probably going to be 25,000 cases. So you're really hitting that upswing of the curve, which is unfortunate for a lot of people that their government completely let them down. Italy added 6,200 cases. Spain added about 8,000. Canada actually is now in probably the top 20-ish with 3,977 cases. So things are starting to get real here. That doesn't mean social distancing doesn't work. Let's just be perfectly clear about this. The physical and social isolation works. These are just the cases that are being tested and found. So keep doing what you're doing. Do not think like, oh, what's the point? We're not slowing it down anyways. Yes, you are. So keep doing your due diligence. Do what you gotta do. Stay inside. Don't just go out willy-nilly. That's it for a serious note.
But for the ones who don't take it too seriously, I mean, at some point, someone you know, if it hasn't happened already, someone you know is going to come down with this. Someone you know is going to need access to medical care that they won't be able to get because healthcare workers are getting sick or there aren't enough beds or whatever. So, I mean, by the time it's real enough for people to care, it'll be too late, sadly, because people that we know will start dying. Mm-hmm. So bearer of bad news. I know it's not like a fun thing to talk about and it's like negative Nancying, but
right now 16% is the death rate overall.
Yeah, see, and that's tricky because obviously there's a lot of people who have very mild symptoms that never get tested. There's all of the people who are afraid of being in a hospital or being brought to a hospital because they can't afford the bills. Like that's basically the case for the majority of Americans. And in Canada, people are avoiding getting tested because they think that they can't afford to be out of work. And that's the reality for a lot of people, unfortunately. But you know, you're sacrificing not only your own health, but the health of all of your coworkers, all of their family members, the people that they live with, the people that you live with. And what good is it if you end up getting really sick 1 month from now? Great, you made an extra $1,000. Good job.
Let's address the PPE.
Yes.
Or personal protective equipment. Most of you are doing it wrong. Take 10 minutes, watch some videos, read at least the instructions on the box. What are gloves designed to do? Gloves are there as a barrier to prevent any sort of pathogen, dirty, gross, yucky stuff entering your body through a hangnail, a cut, or just being absorbed. If you're wearing those gloves, great. Point of entry on your hands, done, not gonna happen there. But if you wear those gloves and then touch your face with your hands, completely defeats the purpose of wearing gloves.
Yeah.
So treat it as a one and done. So if you're doing something with a pair of gloves, don't be touching everything with that glove. I've seen some very, very good online YouTubers and other people on social media trying to do the right thing, but they're touching their face, they're touching everything. You open your car door, you have your gloves on, you go into the store, you're grabbing things that aren't clean at all, and then you're coming back into your vehicle with those same gloves.
Touching the steering wheel and yeah.
So please do your research. A little bit of education is gonna be big, especially when it comes to face masks.
Yeah, and also hair. The virus can live in your hair, on your clothes. So back in January, I was reading some like medical reports coming out of China about how the sick patients are being taken care of. And they were saying that patients that are coughing a lot, that have symptoms, their clothes are to be changed at least twice a day because the virus is living on the clothes and your body is trying to fight off more virus than it needs to be fighting off, right? So changing your pillowcases more frequently, washing your bedding more frequently, changing your clothes. Like you might have a pair of PJs that you wear a couple nights in a row. Don't. You know, we're at home now.
Cheap hydro.
Cheap hydro. Wash your laundry a bit more frequently. Make sure you're wearing clean clothes. If you are wearing gloves, don't touch your hair because that defeats the purpose too.
And as you cough into your elbow, that's getting trapped there. So think of it as
you're carrying that around with you. You might as well walk around and leave your dirty tissues everywhere too, because it's essentially the same thing.
I've seen gloves in parking lots.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dudes.
Yeah.
Don't toss your mask and gloves at the Walmart or Superstore parking lot on the ground. Like, I think that might be a new trigger for me instead of the shopping cart thing. is people disposing of gloves and just throwing them out.
It's biohazard. It's a biohazard.
If you put your mask here, it's useless. If you put your mask on and then touch your mask with your grimy hands that are wearing gloves, again, all you're doing is taking that layer of protection and making it contaminated. I have to switch gloves after every patient, sometimes multiple times, even per patient, or if we're at a collision or someone that has two different people, is you change your gloves. You don't reuse gloves. Any sort of act, like it's a big thing that we have been trained on how to do it properly. If you're wearing those drywall dust masks, again, it'll all help a little bit because the virus itself is, I think it's like 0.3 of a micron or like 0.16 of a micron. Don't hold me on that fact. But it's very, very small and it travels by attaching to other things, other particles, other little bits. So those masks can be effective if used properly and if you don and doff, which is the medical term for putting on and taking off your PPE. And if you're not using it properly, you might as well not have it. because you're only gonna get sick, you're gonna spread it. It's gonna be a false sense of security.
Yes.
Where you're like, oh, I'm protected, I'm wearing gloves. And like I've seen cashiers, check out everybody in line with the same pair of gloves.
And then they go like this and touch their hair, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, so just education is critical right now, and information is huge. So that's our little rant about PPE. That just do it right.
And you don't have to have a paper mask. Ladies, if you have a whole bunch of scarves in your closet that fancy scarves, just wear it like a handkerchief, tie it around your face. You're still giving yourself some sort of barrier. It's better than nothing, and maybe without the false sense of security too, I don't know, just a scarf. Wear a scarf if you don't have masks. A lot of people don't have masks.
You merely adopted the darkness. I was born in it.
You're cute.
That's my best, worst Bane impression. Pretty sure I butchered the line too. But masks, yeah, just stay inside. You don't need a mask in your own house. My last point, and again, this is something that you're gonna have to be aware of for the rest of your life. If you're an asshole now, you're gonna have to live with that, and just be nice to people. I've seen cashiers getting yelled at. I've seen people being rude to people, and it's not needed. I mean, I've had coworkers of mine that people have lied to them about traveling. You call 911, you're still gonna get seen. But if you tell me that you didn't go anywhere, and then as I dig and dig and dig and things don't add up, and we do our due diligence to find out, and then it comes up that you did travel recently or been in contact with somebody that's been exposed,
And have a fever.
that just puts everybody at more risk.
Yeah.
So don't be that person, that patient 31 that Korea had, just because of negligence and
Ignorance.
Just be nice. Again, take the time, be patient. We're all in this together. There's no point fighting and rushing through things. If you're in line at the grocery store, just wait. Don't.
The economy might be tanking, but your social economy doesn't have to. If you're an asshole, good luck finding friends that will help you.
Can we talk about the personality credit score that China introduced in 2015?
Oh my god.
Fun fact, for those of you that have seen Black Mirror, you can rate. There's an episode of you have a social score and it's out of 5 stars, and if you drop below a certain score, you can't go into certain restaurants and do certain things. That's real. Vice did this whole mini documentary years ago about this little settlement that was started out in China. They basically had no way of holding people accountable, of being nice to each other, and again, not acting like morons. So they implemented a point system of rating your interaction, and you had a personality score. And if it dropped below a certain, I think it was 900 points or whatever it is, then you can't do certain things. You can't buy high-speed train tickets, you can't buy flights, and that is, again, the complete opposite of what we want to do here. We're just telling people, just be nice. I mean, you have to have that self-esteem and that lack of, you can't be insecure at a time like this.
Yeah, you need humility. And by social economy, I just mean we're all gonna be going through financial tough times, and so just be a nice person, right? So then if you have friends that have different skill sets, and it's hey, I'm not so good with carpentry, but I know this person is, or hey, we need a plumber, So just...
Or, I'm really good at this. Can I help you with something?
Exactly.
Offering your help
Yeah.
is one of the best ways to build a community and to boost morale and to improve. I just had a really good conversation with a friend of mine in Vancouver over FaceTime.
Yeah.
And we talked for 10-15 minutes. It was amazing because
Just
we were
catching up.
able to catch up. Even though it's virtual, it still is that connection that we as humans require. We're herd animals. We cannot be isolated. I know some of us are introverts and hate people, but at the end of the day, this is not going away.
No.
Even if the vaccine gets introduced like this tomorrow, the US just added 15,000 cases that they found out about. So cases being tested and
The
confirmed
reality
tests
of how many there are.
versus
Yeah.
the actual numbers, that's what people need to understand. It's not 15,000 new cases, it's 15,000 cases that we know about.
That we detected. Yeah, and that's, I mean, it's cute and optimistic to be like, oh, we're good. Canada's at 2,000. No, we're
3.
not. 4. We're almost at
4,
4.
yeah.
And that's, again, there's a huge backlog in testing. And
Ontario has over 10,000 tests right now that are outstanding.
and people have been sick for a couple months now. So how many thousands of people have already had it and gotten better and never ended up being tested? And how many did they spread it to through that whole time frame, right? So like, what if? Again, that's a whole rabbit hole. So it doesn't really matter. Like the numbers don't matter.
At this point, it's irrelevant.
It doesn't matter. You should just be acting as if you either already have it or you could get it tomorrow. And so the same result is just stay home, right? It doesn't really change much. But yeah, be a nice person, especially to the people that you live with, because you're gonna be stuck with them, spending lots of quality time together. So
What are you trying to say?
nothing. I'm just saying I am super grateful that I live with such wonderful people because, again, I'm looking forward to this
It all comes down to attitude.
The next
and
month,
that's kind of
2,
what I want to
3.
close with. From my point of view, and what I really want people to understand. Last time it was, this is serious, take this seriously. This time my takeaway message is attitude and perspective. That everyone's going through this shit together. We're all in this together. It's not going away anytime soon. And the sooner that you like take ownership of like, all right, cool. So we're all going down with the ship together. Let's make the most of it.
Yeah.
I saw a fun little meme of what it's like to be a paramedic right now. I'm gonna post this right here. This describes it perfectly. This is us in a nutshell. And not just paramedics, but all healthcare workers is that band that's playing with the ship. Anyways, regardless of the numbers, regardless of the situation, just be nice to people. Do something productive. Learn a new skill. There's so much stuff out here that you're able to do now that is gonna benefit you, and you're gonna have that, I grew that cucumber, or I built this thing, or I painted this picture, or whatever it is.
And it helps with the panic and the fear because just knowing that you're doing something to improve your own life, it really helps.
Stress levels come down.
Yeah, to be like, I'm in control, I got this, I can get through this, right? But if you're kind of just going, I'm waiting for someone to come up with a vaccine, waiting for someone to fix my problem, waiting
I got
to
no
get a
job.
new job.
We're like, everyone's in this again.
Yeah.
We're all in this together. We're all in the same boat. Some of us are better prepared mentally than others, and that's all on you. No one's gonna be able to show you what to do, and no one's gonna be able to do it for you. If you're internally stressed out and if you're panicking, talk to somebody. You're not alone.
Yeah, because
That's the
literally
beauty of
everyone's
it.
panicking. Everyone
me.
has fears. Everyone has, whatever.
I am afraid of something.
Yeah.
There's no more cookies.
Well, give us like 2 hours. Not even. We'll fix that.
Baking. So, thank you very much for watching our basically unscripted rant again. I had a rough idea of like 4 points I wanted to talk about, so I don't have to spend the next 5 hours editing. Still probably will.
Yep.
New microphone setup. I have no idea how it's gonna sound. My preview that I posted today was what I used, but it was like here, like just off camera, and it wasn't for 2 people. I will do my best. This just feels a lot freer, and I don't have to talk into a microphone. If I don't like this quality, I will switch back to the other ones. But that is all. Thank you. Please be nice, have fun, enjoy.
If you have any gardening tips, maybe like drop them below in the comments.
And for anyone that has noticed, I do touch my face a lot. My hands are clean. I am a professional at decontaminating.
Oh, we
So-
disinfect everything.
Doorknobs,
Light switches.
equipment, anything
Cupboard
that
handles.
I'm burning through most of my cleaning supplies. But luckily we stocked up in January
And
because we've known about this. So
And again, there's also the whole thing too. There's comments online of like, you shouldn't tell people you're prepping, blah blah. Blah. You know, if you're our friend, if you know where we live,
Even if
and
you're not my friend.
and you need something, ask us because we want to help out our friends. So if you need something, let us know. I'm not worried about people stealing our shit. Like, we'll help you. And maybe you can help us and there's a sense of community because that's what is gonna end up happening.
that's what my next episode is going to be, just me, and I just had this idea
Okay.
of a little bit of a background on my childhood and my pictures and like child surge, and this is why I'm handling this so well. So community and being nice goes a long way.
And I'm also gonna have an episode at some point talking about the culture shock experienced when I went to China and the things I saw and the things that concerned me last year
Compared to
that kind of just gave me this feeling of like something's going to go horribly wrong here because of this. So I want to talk to you guys about that too. And eventually sift through all of my video footage from last year when I was
I got like 200 gigs.
It's a lot. But anyway, lots to come. We'll have many projects for you this summer. So.
Lots of updates. I will do my best to record again as much as I can. I know we took a little bit of a break. I worked a lot. But to everybody that's not working, it's okay to not be productive, but take an hour a day and do something productive. Something you can measure. 20 minutes of exercise, 30 minutes of reading something. Just do something good.
Bake a loaf of bread or something.
So that's all we have for today. Thank you for coming in again. And I'm going to see if I can do 3 for 3.
Oh no.
What do you think?
Well,
What
I
do you
think
think?
we've
There's
got
a lot
of,
in the way.
Okay. Give
It's
it a
doable.
shot. No, you can totally
It's
do
doable.
it. You got
Okay.
this. You got this.
Almost! I hit it off the rim. Thank you.
If you pause it right at the right second, it'll look, it'll cover.
Are you saying to rig my success rate of landing hat shots?
So what's your success rate? 2.5?
Well, right now I'm 66%. 2 out of 3.
Okay, fine.
I will not lie to you guys.
No, okay,
ever.
we'll try that one more time then.
No. Can't. No, this is the thing.
Okay.
I throw the hat. If it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Can't be lying to people, Brittany.
I don't. I'm just saying, you're the one in charge of editing.